Welcome to Spotlight, a cauldron of creative talent hotter than the unusually summery June sun.
Spotlight, brought to you by the Isle of Man Arts Council.
This evening, we hear about a celebration of Manx language and culture in Laxey. Stay with a Manx theme with a poem from the wonderful Manx Youth Bard. Hear about a new theme for the Hilary Adams Poetry Corner at the Ward Library in Peel, and more on this year's Manannan Festival, now of course in its 50th year. Remember, do get in touch with any creative artistic endeavours you might be involved in planning, hoping to create, or would really like to put in the spotlight. Poetic? Well, yes, we've got that tonight. Theatrical, musical, literary, we've got some music, ceramic, sculpture, drag, film, mime, social media, opera, not enough opera, although we will be talking more about Cailleach in the coming months. Calligraphy, yeah, there are out there calligraphers. Anyway, get in contact. Howard Kane with an E at manxradio.com or spotlight at manxradio.com. Lovely to hear from you. And let's get you on the show. So much to see, so little time. It is, of course, the year of the Manx language, and this coming weekend, the place to head to immerse yourself in all things Manx and cultural is Laxey. As Year of the Manx Language Coordinator, Tiffany Carush told me when I dropped by Culture Vannon HQ in St John's.
We're very excited to be off to Laxey this coming Saturday, the 27th of June. It's going to be a cultural celebration, celebrating all aspects of Manx culture, but in particular the Manx language, with it being Blaen na Gilga, Year of the Manx Language. And we've got activities spread out across the village. There's going to be things happening in the Working Men's Institute, where we're going to have some language stalls, some projects on display. There's going to be a Manx book sale for anybody that's interested in picking up some Manx language books. We're also going to be showing some Manx films in the downstairs part of the Working Men's Institute with James Franklin. So if you're interested in Manx calendar customs, history, creativity or folklore, then definitely make your way down there, and you're in for a treat. The village square is where we are going to have the Year of the Manx Language gazebo. That will be the central information point for the event, and where we're also going to be having a lovely lineup of music and dance performances throughout the afternoon. Starting at 11 o'clock, we've got Owen Williams and James McNulty. We've got some fabulous choirs, including Caird Cúideach. We've got the Star Shanty Singers. There's going to be an opportunity to learn some Manx dancing with Grania Jochen, who's going to be doing a little mini Cayley. Sue Harrison is going to come and sing some lovely songs, and the Shenanigans Band are going to perform as well. Nefani are coming down from Ramsey. They are Ramsey's Manx dancing group, along with the harpists that often play with them, so some beautiful harp music. And then it all finishes off at 4:30 with supergroup Scran, that many people will have heard of, and they've had a fantastic year so far, so they will be singing to Laxey at 4:30. Other things going on, we've got a bilingual walking tour around the village. That's leaving from the Manx Language gazebo at 12 o'clock. That's going to be with Blue Badge Guide Ailey Sheard. And we've got some bonnog making demonstrations all taking place at Bramble's Cookery School.
What's not to like with a bonnog demonstration?
Well, absolutely, and you even get to taste some at the end. So, that will be a bilingual demonstration. We're very lucky to have Julie Matthews, who is, the bonnog queen, I would say. She's made a few in her time.
Yeah, I think she might be an ex-world champion. I could be wrong.
I think she probably is. And if anybody's interested in the bonnog world champions, this is the place to be to learn how to become a champion. And that's actually going to be in partnership with Laxey Flour Mill as well. So they will be there bringing the flour, and obviously talking a little bit about what's going on at the mill. Mustn't forget, over at the Laxey Glen Pavilion, we've got some children's activities with Munjavega. We've got free face painting and also the language workshops. So Ruth Kegan will be in the teepee, and she's got workshops at 11 o'clock and 12, and also a singing workshop at 1. And you can turn up on the day, but actually if you want to reserve your spot and make sure that you can get in because space is limited, do go onto the yearofmanx.im website, go to the Manx Day Out in Laxey calendar event, and you'll find all the links on there to make your booking.
Brilliant. Are the events free or is there a charge for them?
They are free, yes. So, it's a wonderful opportunity to come out, do some free activities, go out and explore Laxey. We are encouraging people to bring their Manannan passports with them. We've set up a range of places where they can go out and collect stamps, and we think that it's actually possible to fill a passport in a day in Laxey, starting with jumping on the tram, or the bus. So, do make sure that you come in on the tram if you possibly can, because parking is limited. It can be, but there are some good parking options, but do consider the tram and make a real day of it.
And is the event, was this a Culture Van initiative? Was this something in conjunction with other organisations?
So this particular one is a Culture Van event. We've got a series of events for Year of the Manx Language where we've been fortunate to get some support from the Domestic Event Fund. After Laxey, we're off to do something similar but different down in Port Erin. We've got another event planned down in Douglas in October, and then we'll be in Peel in November. So we've got plenty more to come.
Sounds good, doesn't it? Fingers crossed for the weather, as always. More cultural days to come. Stay tuned.
Spotlight, brought to you by the Isle of Man Arts Council.
We'll stay with Manx for a moment as we hear from the current Manx youth bard, Matilda Watson. We've been trying, of course, to speak to Matilda for a while, so it's lovely to actually catch up with her. She's been super busy with exams and, of course, her role as bard. We'll chat more generally about her role and poetry and how she came into it next week. But for now, here she is with a poem for us. And, of course, Matilda is the first youth bard to write and perform in Manx, the language. Very appropriate for the Year of the Manx Language. But fear not, she will translate it for us.
This one is called Fost Bio, so that's still alive.
Still alive?
Yeah.
That's good. Fost Bio.
Yeah.
Good.
So, Neve Sheenit, son a gilg, son Creighton Foint. Nucha Seg, de ad to partale, son Hinelad Maru Fost. Mutti Fost tan enel, mach as stiach, mutti Fost able to brebel as scriecha, scumma creho fers, Hineli Maru Fost. Fuddy to naslugin, ach coiren gre tashin esquerges. Fuddy to sly nakvel cregelongin. So cured. Fuddy to sly nakvel girishin de ges nastroja, ach nimage anchoby. So much salch, nudgin cur sechdun. Hasim mecian shuish, ach tammy just cur sech de ad to maru. As Haneli Maru Fost. Mutta and Cree Fost Yila, as ten Career Fost Govrach, es Misalch, na Jin Enan Oren Romana. Son Kiet Jerry ve Kuntit, ta ve Clen Bachtel de Velshin Bio. Tashin Bio, as Hanelshin Gol, Ballaby.
Lovely, has a nice rhythm to it. And the translation for that one for us?
So, roughly translated, it's don't despair for Manx, for what's the point? Don't grieve for those that are dying, because they are not dead yet. If they're still breathing in and out, if she is still able to kick and scream, no matter how weak, she is not dead yet. There may be less of us, but who said we have stopped growing? There may be people that don't believe in us, so what? Maybe there are people that don't want us to grow stronger, but we will anyway. So please, don't grieve us. I don't know about you, but I only grieve those that are dead. And we are not dead yet. If our heart is still beating and our voice still works, then please, don't miss us too much. For the last time it was counted, it was fully obvious that we are still alive. We are alive and we are not going anywhere. That was sort of my take on... Have you ever heard Ned Begg's Van and Veg Veen?
Yes.
That was sort of my take on that, because I thought it was really sad how he was, like, grieving Manx, but then in his time at that point, he would have been grieving Manx because he had to move away, so that was sort of me, like, sort of calling out that he doesn't have to quite do that yet.
Absolutely. And Manx, as we know, and as your living proof, is alive and well. And I think Manx culture and the Manx language is stronger now than it was 50 years ago.
Yes.
Isn't it?
And I hope it keeps getting stronger.
Absolutely. I'm sure with people like yourself promoting the Manx language and what you can do with Manx language when it comes to poetry and art, I think it can only be a good thing, can't it?
Yes.
Wonderful. And just one final question, just thinking and listening to you doing your poetry there. I'm assuming, and again, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm assuming when you're writing your poetry, you write it in your head in Manx. You don't write it in English and then translate it. You write, or maybe not, but you write it in the Manx language as you're composing.
Yeah, it's definitely a Manx first. Yeah. I only translate it in English for those that can't understand it. It's more for the benefit of all. It's my benefit for it to be in Manx. It's for everyone else in English.
In English as well.
Yes.
Wonderful. Well, listen, anything particular you're looking forward to as you're saying, you get the exams out of the way, because that's always a stressful period, and then you can sort of concentrate more on enjoying being the Manx Youth Bard for the second half of your tenure. Do you know if there are any other big gigs coming up, or?
Not that I'm aware of, but I can't wait to do some more. It's going to be brilliant.
Get stuck in.
Yeah.
Well, listen, it's been wonderful catching up and hearing a bit about your poetry. And please do, if there's any new ones you're writing, send them our way and we'll feature them on the programme. And we'll catch up again before you end your year.
Thank you very much.
Lovely stuff. Even if, like me, you don't understand Manx that well, outside of Gurmayed and Maramai and such like, I do like the rhythm of the words in poetry written in another language, even if you don't comprehend the actual meaning. We'll stay with poetry as it happens now as we head to the Ward Library in Peel, where the Hilary Adams Poetry Corner, been there for a year or two now, I think, has had something of a refresh, a new theme, as Hilary Adams' daughter, Kate Kirk, explained to me.
It has not only been refreshed with a new theme, but a new nerdy section for those that want to dive deeper into poetry. We've been recycling some of the books and brought some new ones. We've got the sort of the skipping and skimming across poetry, the more easy read. We've also recycled some of those. But the new theme is Hidden Women Revealed, because presumably everybody can name 5 male poets, whereas it's more difficult to mention the female poets by name.
And where did the idea of this come from? This something from yourself, or?
Well, it was lovely Stacey Astle, who used to be a bard of Mallet, and she came and helped me sort out all my mum's poetry books, all 330, and she did a spreadsheet, and we were looking, which was great, and we were looking about what the theme might be, and just recognise how people would not know so well female authors, it's female poets rather, and we just decided that we would choose this for the theme for this term, as it were.
And do you think there's a reason behind why, as you say, female poets tend not to be recognised as well?
Well, I would say that about female authors as well. If you think
probably.
Patriarchy in action, you know, women were supposed to be staying at the home, and how dare they write unless they wrote with men's names and got published under a man's name, you know, and I think the same with, you know, with poetry, that slowly people began to recognise the wealth and the richness of women's poetry. Probably, I mean, I've looked at these books and they're sort of emerging about the 40s, the 50s. Slowly women are getting recognised as poets.
Yes, and actually getting...
Sorry, that's 1940s and 50s.
Yeah, absolutely. And getting a name, because as you say,
exactly.
Hitherto, I suppose they would either be under a pseudonym or perhaps just not really taken seriously.
Exactly, I think you're right. And I think there was I cannot remember a name just at the moment, where she just kept it to herself, and it wasn't until subsequently whether her daughter... After she died, she discovered this amazing poetry, and it was her mum's, and she pushed to get her mum's poetry published.
And that's a funny thing we often mention, particularly with poetry, but sometimes writing in general, how people will sometimes, you will find exactly that. Someone you find has written poetry for years, decades.
Exactly.
And other people didn't even know they did it.
I know. It's almost like it's a meditative, special hobby that somebody has, that they just return into themselves and just make these measured verses or expressing something which they can't do in their day-to-day life, but it nourishes them in a way.
Yeah, and I think a bit like sort of diarising or diary writing, sometimes I think it's done almost for the self. It's not actually done ever to be exposed and put out there.
Yeah.
And you feel, I sometimes wonder when things like these treasure troves are discovered later, thinking, well, did the person who wrote, did they want it to actually go out into the big wide world? You brought a selection with you, a few bits and pieces. Yeah, give us a taste of one or two of the pieces you've got there.
Right.
You've got a nice cross-section of some more serious pieces, lighter pieces.
Yeah, so I actually thought about Maya Angelou, who really, she was born in 1928, and it wasn't really that she became appreciated both as an author and an African American. You know, so she was a particularly hidden woman in America. And it wasn't until 1969, when she was 41, when she wrote People Got to Know I Know Why the Cage Birds Sing. And then subsequently, her poetry became recognised. And I thought she became a professor at 54. She actually said poetry for Bill Clinton on his inauguration, which was a massive step, the first woman and the first poet in 1965. And I just thought she is previously a very hidden woman, and now she's relatively well known. So I found this poem which is about Africa, which obviously has significance because of the slave trade and things like that, and the nature of relationship with black African Americans. So, thus she had lain, sugarcane sweet, deserts her hair, golden her feet, mountains her breast, 2 Niles her tears. Thus she has lain, black through the years. Over the white seas, rime white and cold, brigands and gentles, icicle bold. Took her young daughters, sold her strong sons, churched her with Jesus, bled her with guns. Thus she has lain. Now she is rising. Remember her pain, remember her losses, her screams loud and vain. Remember her riches, her history slain. Now she is riding, although she had lain.
Beautiful, yeah, and very, very descriptive, and that's that whole idea of the country as a woman, and just the imagery it actually conjures up there is very rich in that one indeed. You've got another different piece. Again, Maya Angelou is now a name who people would recognise. Some other, there's another name there I didn't recognise at all. I must admit,
Carol Satyamurti or Floreko.
No, Carol Satyamurti, yeah.
Yeah. So I brought this one because I didn't know her. So I felt like when my mum gave me all these books, this was a hidden woman revealed. And she's really, really interesting. And what is lovely was that there was a piece of a Guardian article stuck inside this book. So she was born again in 1939 and she died in 2019, academic and a poet. But from my point of view, she worked at the Tavistock Clinic. And she loved the stories of patients. So I worked as a psychotherapist in child and adolescent mental health. And I loved the stories children used to tell me. So I hadn't known that. So this is from The Hopeful Hat. And I've got the article that Mum stuck in because it's just really lovely. It's called Hold On. Hold on to the real news, to what you know is of good report. Hold on to what you know of fakery. Nail a lie when you hear one. Spot bluster on the public highway. Fine-tune your ear to subtext, manipulation and duplicity. Ask yourself, who benefits? Whose hopes are cruelly raised and who dares get away with what? Don't be afraid to make a poem raw as sandpaper. And even though 1 million processed, twice as many feet, couldn't stop a war, get out there with your small voice, your light tread. Which just seems very relevant for now.
It is, isn't it? Yeah, short, sweet, to the point. What proportion do you know of your mum's collection was actually by female poets?
Quite a few, but she did have some really old books by men and lots, those lives of Gerard Manley Hopkins and W.H. Auden and all this sort of thing. But I would say possibly a quarter, maybe not quite a quarter of the books by female poets.
Well, yeah, it's quite high then. It is quite high.
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Let's have one more poem from there and then we'll have a quick chat about the upcoming workshop.
Right. Could I talk about Not a Hidden Woman,
Please.
About Carol Ann Duffy? And I've got 2 really short ones because this is the world's wife. This is collection of poems of women who are hidden. So I've just chosen two, which are really simple. The first one is Mrs. Darwin. 7th of April, 1852. Went to the zoo. I said to him, something about that chimpanzee over there reminds me of you. Which I just think is so funny. That she
I was just listening to that. I was waiting. I thought, oh, it's gone.
Yeah, it's the origin of the species nailed by the chimpanzee and Mrs. Darwin. I just think that's so lovely. And this other one.
Great, love it.
This other one, I wish I could do a Yorkshire accent, but her name is Mrs. Icarus. But I think a Yorkshire accent would do. But I'm not the first or the last to stand on a hillock, watching the man she married prove to the world he's a total, utter, absolute grade A pillock. So obviously Icarus melting his wings in the sun. And I love the twist of that. So Carol Ann Duffy, previous 10 years as
poet laureate.
A poet laureate before Simon Armitage, and just brilliant.
Yes, short, pithy, straight in there.
Yeah.
Loving it indeed. Now then, if we've inspired you, if you're listening, to think about poetry, or maybe try writing poetry, we can all do it. Have a go for the first time, and if you're seeking some inspiration, which you might have got from the poems we've been hearing there is a free poetry workshop coming up.
There is, absolutely. So the theme of the workshop is Are We There Yet? And it's following on from the first workshop where we had 6 people, including myself and Stacey, in the library working together, and it was such a blast. We had such fun, and for the other 4 women to discover ways of putting words on the page. So a sense of having the journey. So are we there yet? This is the next stop in the journey of discovering how you write poetry.
Lovely. And this is in the library, Saturday the 27th of June. It runs from 1:30 through until 4. You can come along there. It is totally free. We should say, I assume male poets are welcome as well if they want to go along.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yes, definitely.
It's a wonderful facility for poets to use. Check out the workshop if you're seeking poetic inspiration, of course, and to go along and enjoy the Hilary Adams Poetry Corner. It's there for people to use. Time to hear more about this year's Manannan Festival. Gets underway proper, I think you can say, on Monday down at the Erin Arts Centre in Port Erin. But there's much more to come later in the week. Creative director Pip Rolfe told me more.
Wednesday night we have our friend Seamus Carey, who was a massive hit here when he came, I think it was 2 years ago, with a show called Help, I think I'm a Nationalist. Seamus is an artist, a composer, choir master, piano tuner, amongst other things. But he's doing his new show called Community Service. Now, this should be of interest to anybody who likes comedy or theatre, improvisation, kind of street theatre, anything like that. Community Service is a hilarious sort of theatre workshop, participatory event. And it involves Seamus, who plays a council employee called Jeff, who hates people, but has been sent to form a community in 60 minutes with a bunch of random strangers. And it's up to you, the audience, to come down and help Jeff set up this community. It's a free event, but we ask you to book, to reserve a place. It will be great fun, so come down and get involved.
It does sound different, yeah. Immersive theatre.
It's one of those overused words, immersive, but I think this really will be, yeah. And Seamus is great. He's a great performer, and he's really good fun as well. So that should be great. Thursday evening belongs to a vocal ensemble called Landless. They're from Dublin. They sing unaccompanied traditional songs from the Irish, Scottish, and English and American tradition in really close 4-part harmony. They feature songs of sort of the usual folk love, death, and lamentation, as well as work songs, shape note hymns, and more recent folk songs. They just got extraordinary, beautiful voices and really densely woven harmonies. And anybody with a passing interest in any kind of choral music or folk Celtic music will absolutely love them. They're magic. So that's Thursday. Friday, which is the 3rd of July, belongs to the Dan Forshaw Quartet. Now, Dan has been here previously for the Jazz Festival. And when we saw that he had this show called Coltrane 100.
Yeah.
So Train would have been 100 years old this year. Now, Dan is a kind of world authority on Coltrane. He's an educator, sax player, band leader. He's played all over the place with pretty much every sort of ensemble you can think of. And he's bringing the quartet over to celebrate the work of Coltrane. I will say we've put clips up on our social of all the acts, but if you're interested in any of them, there's a wonderful clip of Dan's quartet playing. So any jazz fans out there, this is a dream booking for jazz fans.
Sounded good to me. Like I said, in Train's 100th year, so you can celebrate that. I mean, the man himself no longer with us, of course, but the music is. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, no, me too. I mean, I'm looking forward to all of them. It's a bit like going, which is your favourite child, because they're all wonderful gigs in their own way. And I'm not sure if it's the first time in the festival, because I haven't been through the programmes, but we have a Manx act headlining on the Saturday night. Obviously, it's the Blaena Gaeilge, the year of the Manx language, so we thought it was pretty fitting to hook up with Bisky Brisht, who have written this new album, Brebel Ushter, Treading Water, and they're going to perform the whole LP in Manx on the Saturday night.
Great, very fitting, as you say, for the year of the Manx language, and fantastic band. If you've not seen them live before, roll away.
So yeah, that's going to be a standing gig. Obviously, we'll stick a few chairs around if you need a breather or people who need to sit down, so that, you won't be excluded. But we hope that'll be a kind of nice knees up, nice party. Great way to finish a festival.
Dancing is allowed.
Oh God, yes, absolutely. It's obligatory.
So something for everyone, as you say. I'm taking it the usual places to go online if you want the tickets.
Go to our ticket source page, or you can book through our website, or come in the office and have a chat, and we'll sell you one.
Sort something out.
We won't let you go until you bought one.
You started work on Festival 51 yet?
Do you know what? The normal answer to that is no, but I actually have, because there was a few people that I was trying to get who. This goes back a couple of years, people who couldn't come, for various reasons. So I'm making sure that I can engage them for next year. Yeah, that's unusually sort of good planning for me.
Wonderful. In the meantime, 50th anniversary of Manannan Festival just getting underway now. Plenty going on. It wouldn't matter what your taste, whether it's folk, jazz, classical, or theatre, something a bit different. Get yourself down and enjoy it down here at the Erin Arts Centre. It's a wonderful festival, and long may it continue. Details and booking online as ever, ticketsource.com/Erin Arts Centre. That's about it for now. See you next week. We'll hear more from Matilda and catch up with Incarnic. See you then. In the meantime, be good, whatever you're doing. Be creative about it. Hey, Moo.